everyone and fellow followers. So let's talk about AI, AI driven layoffs, getting a job in 2026, and the next blow to the economy. So I was just reading this article where a Chinese court ruled that companies can't fire workers just because AI is cheaper. Ruling says automation alone doesn't justify layoffs. Well, interesting. And shall we say the ramping up of AI may soon backfire? Curious to find out. Now, this ruling makes sense. You can't reduce someone's job without giving a fair reassignment, which goes along the same lines where you can't reduce someone's job because of their gender compared to someone else's gender. So let's say a woman in the same position, same job title, same job responsibilities, does the same thing, but suddenly she gets demoted, let's say, or her job assignment reduced to lower pay, less job duties. You can't do that. That looks just a little bit, that's just back in the old ways of, everyone knows you can't do that. But this ruling here in this Chinese court comes along the same lines. That's the same exact thing, where you're reducing their assignment unfairly, which leads to basically saying that's discrimination. Because if you take the woman and man example with the same job title, same pay, same job duties, and the woman gets demoted, how is that not gender discrimination? And so I've also been, this is going around too, and it's kind of, pretty much people are aware of this, that many tech companies are slashing tech jobs to cover AI infrastructure costs. And, Meta has cut thousands of tech jobs. So, AI-driven layoffs seem to be the norm in 2026. But how far will they go? Will we continue to see it backfire in companies' faces? Will it become deemed as a ridiculous excuse instead of training and helping employees transition? Looks like AI will not exist without legal ramifications going forward. Or let's at least hope for those who are laid off. And with the constant layoffs, that's a lot of people. Now, will people start to see, if you will, use the word stupidity? Will people start to see the stupidity of AI in some sense? Now, we survived COVID and unemployment then and the layoffs then. And now we're in the AI takeover era. But how far will it go with that? It already seems to be worse than what happened to those that got, that were laid off from the COVID. Are things going to get worse? What are your thoughts? What will tank the economy next? Your thoughts on that? I mean, a lot of people might have thought after the COVID, okay, we survived that. That was pretty bad. of all things, to go through and to lose your job from and to just tank the economy. But then we come to find out, oh, it's not over. the Now we hit this era with the AI stuff, and yeah, AI is good. And it's got its things, that you have to, give it credit for. So, Now, let's talk about as far as getting a job in 2026. I think the best thing to do about that is you're going to have to start going to job fairs, meeting people, talking to people, networking, talking to people that are humans, not AI, which is fake. That's what it stands for, artificial. It's artificial, it's fake, it's not real, it's not human. So if you talk to more people and you actually connect with them, let them know what your background is, what you're interested in, if you're trying to just transition to a whole new field, that's going to be more to your advantage in in the world like this today. Because maybe at least exposing yourself and talking to people will give you an advantage to find a job and not have to just keep, tailoring your resume and make it sure it's compatible with AI and applicant tracking systems. And, wouldn't you rather talk to a human too? So, wow. Just all of this, very interesting. And do you think it's over? Is the AI era gonna just start to fall apart and malfunction? Or, already we see it's got some legal ramifications on companies trying to use it to downsize and say, oh, we're trying to, work on infrastructure and save costs that way. Okay, well then what happens when the AI driven stuff malfunctions, falls apart, gets costly to repair? So, these are just interesting. It's very crazy what's going on in this world. And then as far as, all those tech companies, Meta laying people off, you have people you see on YouTube that have computer science degrees, okay? And they're saying how they feel like getting that degree seems useless now. That's a pretty sad thing. And these people are smart because let's face it, they're dealing already with AI stuff, computer stuff. They probably know how to create all this and that, websites, hack things, get into things, So what does the world come to for people that smart having to say they feel like their degree is useless now, was a waste of time, shouldn't have went and did all that just to get that piece of paper to say they have the degree? What are your thoughts on that as well? And what else? As far as getting a job, besides the networking and in-person talking to people, yeah, stay persistent, I guess. That's the other thing. Definitely don't give up, and that's hard to do because you might want to, but just stay persistent. Just talk to so many different people, even when you're running errands or if you're out volunteering, just talk to people, explain your situation, get to know them, build rapport. Good life skills that, AI can't give you or teach you. So I wish you all the best if you're laid off, and let me know your thoughts on all this and what you think might tank the economy and what will be one of the next or the third biggest thing that hits the world so hard, besides now the COVID, and second thing, AI driven stuff. Yeah, I'm just going to use the word stuff right now for that AI stuff. So anyways, Uh, if you want, comment, give suggestions, and see you next time. Thanks. Bye.